make the most of our time. Baby, won't you turn up the light? Show me where you live. We can do it all night long. Baby, if you turn up the light, show me where you live. We're just getting started. There's no need to worry, no. I wanna show you all the love I got to give, babe. Turn up the light, show me where you live. Yeah, yeah, I wanna love you like it's about this night to live, babe. Turn up the light, turn off the light in here. Ooh, ah. Hey, listen, love, I know we lost touch, but the tension in here is too much. We talk it through as I'm looking at you. I see exactly what you wanna do. Baby, won't you turn up the light? Show me where you live. We can do it all night long. Baby, if you turn up the light, show me where you live. We're just getting started. There's no need to worry, no. I wanna show you all the love I gotta give. Baby, turn up the light, show me where you live. Yeah, yeah, I wanna love you like it's my this night to live, baby. Turn up the light, turn off the light, and I wanna show you all the love I gotta give, baby. Turn off the light, show me where you live. Yeah, yeah, I wanna love you like it's my this night to live, baby. Turn up the light, turn off the light in here. Ooh, yeah. Turn off the light in here. Ooh, hey. Turn off the light in here.
Welcome to Sessions From Oblivion, the show that brings bands to you, so-called because so many thousands of musicians are in Oblivion, and our studio is called Oblivion. Unfortunately, due to social distancing, it became problematic, so I would like to thank Dunboyne Castle Hotel, who have given us this facility to shoot some of the bands and some of the interviews. You have been watching Turn Out the Lights, or Turn Out the Light?
Turn off the light.
Turn off the light, damn it, I knew I'd get it wrong. But Mr. JJ Bloom, welcome to the show.
Cheers for having me.
That was quite laid back, and it's sort of R&B, light pop.
Yeah, it's kind of. I kind of found my sound somewhere around R&B soul, and there's a bit of funk in some songs, and yeah, R&B soul, I'd say.
It's nice and chilled and quite. In fact, the exact opposite to episode one. Episode one, we had Car Crash, post-punk band.
Right.
Brilliant, but the other end of the scale.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how have you been finding lockdown, JJ?
I would say similar enough to a lot of musicians. Odd because my day job's gone, really. Do you know, my moneymaker, gigging live performances out the window for the moment anyway. But I think I was a little bit more fortunate than most because I have a home studio and I could still work and have a solid day structure, you know what I mean?
When did you start that? You recorded, you released your first single, I think, in April.
Yeah.
Always You?
Always You, yeah.
I got that one right. But didn't you record and produce that at home?
Yeah, record, produce and mixed it all at home.
Okay.
I started in 2017. I was just out of college and I kind of just started messing around.
Yeah.
Crap MacBook and Logic and
The cheap mic.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and then I just kept building from there and investing and got to the stage where I was happy with it.
So you're sort of cocooned in your own studio.
Yes.
So
yeah,
maybe lockdown's been good for you.
Yeah, it has and it hasn't. I think people are quick to say, "Oh, well, sure, you have the studio. You know, it's great." And creativity's hard when you're not actually allowed outside. You know, but I suppose that better off than some. Yeah.
Right. Now, you come from a long line of musicians because I used to book the excellent Re-Released, which is Martin and Mary, your folks, and of course your elder brother, who is Bobby Mack, the Dukes, excellent singer, and now you. So you've grown up surrounded by music. What was that like?
Yeah, I suppose I have my parents to thank for like the broad amount of music and genres I listen to. So I think that definitely helped shape the sound I was looking for. When you look at the likes of the Style Council and Hall & Oates, would I have listened to them if my parents weren't, playing music every Saturday,
Yeah.
So I definitely think that had it.
You probably could have done without Hall & Oates, in fairness.
Oh, that's your opinion. I'm a big fan.
I'll send you my Clash and Pistol CDs.
Oh, I've had the Clash as well. Don't you worry.
Really?
Yeah, a bit of Rock the Cash has been in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't have had you down as a Clash fan.
Not a huge Clash fan, but I listened to them. I think that was the thing. I didn't even have to be a fan or know who it was. It was just constantly on in the house.
Right.
So I was hearing it, and then I knew it, and then you'd get used to it. So even bands that I only know 2 songs by the Clash,
okay,
but they're still there. They're in the back of my mind. Yeah.
So with your folks gigging, you probably would have been a teenager or younger when they were out doing gigs and
or younger even, because there were some days that there was no babysitters around, so we were brought out to the gigs.
Did you go to the gigs?
A couple of them, Okay. Now they were earlier gigs, like they were. Otherwise we'd be booted out of the pubs, but yeah, we did. We went to a few of them on it.
But you started singing quite early. What age are you now, JJ?
I am 24.
24, okay. Because I think you were gigging for my company some years ago. I think you were 18 or 19.
Yeah, I think it was about 18. I was just 18 as well. Yeah. I think I was nearly 17 at one point.
Right. And pre-lockdown, of course, making a living as a professional musician, it would be nice if JJ Bloom was your sole income, and I know that's the intention. I'm pretty sure it'll get there, but of course you would have been doing, I suppose, pub gigs and corporates and stuff.
Yeah, same as a lot of musicians in Ireland. It's songwriting and being an artist is my first love and what I'd love to someday turn into my full income, but same as a lot of artists. I was out doing the pub gigs and just trying to make some money.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to track 2, which is your debut single, which, by the way, is on YouTube. It's probably on, is it JJ Bloom?
It's everywhere, JJ Bloom.
Okay, did very well for you. And it was nice, actually. It was shot by Michael Reid. Upcoming videographer. And I think his sister Aisling starred in it.
Yeah, she was in it. A couple of my friends.
I thought it was really cool. It was just a nice pop, straightforward. It wasn't trying to be anything, it was just nice. It was lovely. So well done. Cheers. And this is you singing Always You live in the studio. Always You.
But you me then. Yeah. Haven't thought of you, why'd you put me through in the month of Sunday? Have you thought of me? Well, I'm just wondering, baby, won't you tell me please? What can I do? Part of me was hoping to. What can I say? Oh, oh, oh. Can't you see it's giving me? So just dance with me tonight underneath the moonlight. I don't wanna hesitate. What can I do? Oh, oh, oh. Part of me was hoping to always. I don't wanna love you, but it seems like I might have to, baby. I could love you always, always. I don't wanna love you, but it seems like I might have to, baby. I could love you always. What can I do? Part of me was hoping to. What can I say? Oh, oh, oh. Can't you see it's giving me? So just dance with me tonight underneath the moonlight. I don't wanna hesitate. What can I do? Oh, oh, oh. Part of me was hoping to always.
Okay, that was JJ Bloom playing live his debut single, Always You. Where can they buy it?
You can buy it in all the normal spots, iTunes, it's on Bandcamp if you want to buy it. There's no physical copy yet, I'm going to wait until I get the EP out. But yeah, and then streaming everywhere as well.
Okay, we've been advising people that it's fine to listen to Spotify, but it's really no benefit to up-and-coming artists. It's so minuscule.
Yeah.
You have to be in the hundreds of thousands. So if you want to buy the single, go to JJ Bloom on Facebook.
Yeah.
And download it, go to iTunes, I suppose. Yeah. Is there other material available?
Not yet. No, there's a lot. I've kind of been working on the production of like 10 other songs, and then I have a campaign coming up where I'm going to see which will be the next one, but there's one coming soon, definitely.
Yeah, and I was on your Facebook page, and you're now friends with Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think it was the start of lockdown. I started doing TikTok.
Right.
There's so many unsigned artists coming out of it with huge numbers. Like I said, why not tap into it and see how I get on? And I kind of struggled at the start. I think like a lot of them, or like anyone who starts it, it's a new app, it's a new algorithm. Got to get used to it. And started to duet on TikTok. It's like someone puts up a video and then you add their video with you singing or playing or whatever.
Okay.
And Nile Rodgers put up a video of him playing Everybody Dance and asking people to duet it, and then I duetted it, and he followed me and liked me and gave me a comment saying great to hear. Yeah, it was cool.
That is so cool. And then didn't you do a mashup at the end of little bits of his favourites? And
yeah, he then posted one up on his Instagram, which was really cool.
That is very cool. Absolutely. Wow. I was having a pint up in Hope years and years ago, and Joe Strummer walked in. And we mentioned before, I'm a bit of a Clash fan, and I got to hang out with the guy, but he was just a river of positivity, and some people are like that. I'd imagine Nile Rodgers is like that.
Yeah, he seems to be on his social presence anyway.
Yeah, Damien Dempsey's another one. What do you put into your lyrics? Like, what do you like to sing about?
Do you know what? A lot of the artists I listen to, like some artists are so predominantly based on beautiful lyrics. I wouldn't be too sold on that for my own sound personally. I kind of go for more. I'll always work out the melody first.
Okay.
Get it to be catchy. Get the instrumental, the melody, and I kind of start singing and let my subconscious nearly write it.
Yeah.
So I'll write the hook from whatever's in the back of my mind, and then whatever gibberish I say, usually there's a few bits that make sense.
Yeah.
Then I go, oh, well, obviously subconsciously I was singing about this or that or
Are you
whatever.
just trying to convince yourself that gibberish makes sense?
No, I honestly, and it's because I thought, oh God, I'm a bit of a cop. I'm supposed to be a songwriter, like. But I had read up about it. I can't remember the name of it now for the life of me. But there's an actual way of writing where you just kind of sing out the melody, and in the back of your head you're coming up with lyrics, but you don't realise you are.
Yeah.
I usually go for that, and that's only one way. Like there's a couple other times where you just strongly feel about something one day and then just work on that. But it's no fixed way really for me.
Right. I was reading Elvis Costello's biography, and he said he started to work with Paul McCartney. He's a massive Beatles fan, and they got into a discussion. You know, what do you keep? What's more important, melody or words? And Elvis Costello was such a wordsmith. He's just a brilliant turn of phrase. And McCartney said, "Oh no, melody. No, nobody cares about the words."
Yeah.
You know, and he was going, "Well, I beg to differ." You know, and then he did point out that this is the man that sang, you know, "She loves you, yeah."
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a point. I don't know. I quite like the lyrics, but it seems a bit unfair. Somebody who's good at, you know, writing music and putting the chords together and getting a, you know, kicking melody, but it seems a bit unfair to expect them to be, you know, well, they can now save the world. You know, they should have great insight into politics or whatever. It just seems not everybody's Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think those artists are amazing. When you listen to some really, really good lyricists, their music's great. But I think unless that's natural to you, it just doesn't come off the same.
It's contrived.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, it's not natural for me to have a political say or really strong message in songs. And there are strong messages, but it's more pop based. It's more based on relationships and the likes. But I think, if it's not coming to you naturally, don't force it.
Right, absolutely. Write whatever you feel.
Whatever you feel, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. That brings us to the section on the show, Tips and Tricks, where I get a Zoom call from an industry professional. And on this episode, we have another icon of music. He ran the Olympia Theatre for more than 20 years and now band manager to Picture This and others. This is Brian Whitehead. Oh, Mr. Whitehead, how are you doing?
How are you, Andrew? How's everything?
Well, it's lockdown. You can't expect much. But the program's keeping me busy. And thank you for being on it.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
We were saying it's we know each other a long time. You pointed out 30 years, which sort of shocked me.
Yeah, it's 30 years, believe it or not. I'm probably even a little bit over that. Yeah, so I started work with MCD in about 86, 84, 85, 86, around that time. But I had been working in the National Stadium prior to that and watched MCD rise from this small company into this, you know, became the number one promoting company for music. Was it just him and Ollie first? Ollie Walsh? Well, no, it was himself and a guy called Eamon McCann. Oliver Walsh ran the music label, so they owned a couple of music labels as well called Solid and Liquid, and Oliver kind of looked after that. Okay. But but it was very small. There was only 5 or 6 people at the very beginning. Well, actually, you're famously you're a background dude. You don't like being in the limelight. You're limelight shy. So I do appreciate. Yes, I'm extremely limelight shy. I can't even say it. I'm that shy. But I don't do radio interviews. You know, the reason I'm doing this, you asked me, and as I said, we've known each other over 30 years, and so but first time. Fair play. So, okay, let's cut to the meat. Tips and tricks is the name of the section. So give us your 3 top tips or tricks for young new talent getting into the game. Well, number one, what I would say to anybody getting into the game is, if you're gonna get into the game, you need to do your homework, because it's like any other business. You've got to learn your trade. You've got to know what you're getting into. You've got to seek the help from other people that are out there, and there are plenty of people out there that are there to help new bands. I would also say, you know, don't be in a hurry to go play a gig, because there's, you know, why are you going to play a gig when nobody's going to show up? Get a couple of songs out there, release your music through social media. There's loads of platforms for you now. You can put it up on Instagram, TikTok. I recently found an artist on TikTok, Leah Hart, and as I'm from today, I think she's number 6 in the airplay charts in Ireland.
Wow.
So, you know, managers like
managing her?
myself, yeah.
Right,
No,
okay.
I signed her up. She put up a video on TikTok last March. One of the girls that works for me, one of my day-to-day managers, Sarah, she spotted her and she said to me, "This kid's great." I had a look, invited her down to the house. We had a conversation and we released a single in November, went number 1 on the iTunes charts. It's
How did you release it?
number 6. Well, in fairness now, I went and I did a deal with Warner Music. I did the homework, did a bit of a deal with Warner Music, who are great. Did a deal with them. They got it out. We released it on Spotify, on Instagram, all that. Went to number 1 on iTunes and number 6 in the Airplay radio charts. Now, to get number 6 in the Airplay radio charts with your first ever song is huge. Like it's unheard of.
How do you get
It
that?
happens every now and again,
Yeah.
but it is really unheard of.
But how do you get it? What's the process? Why did she get that?
Well, it's a good track, which is the main thing. It's a good song and it's radio friendly. It's a commercial song. Like there's no point in releasing an Irish folk ballad and expect Radio 2 to play it. They're not going to play it. You know, whether you're a female or a male, they're looking for commercial pop music, and that's kind of my genre is mainly commercial pop music. Although I do have other artists that are in country
The
music
High Kings and
pop music.
Yeah. Okay, so that's very interesting. Don't bother with gigs.
Yeah, it's if you're going to do a gig now, there are places where you can go, like the Ruby Sessions, and there are stuff like that you can get in where it's not costing you to go and play that gig. So you can apply to Ruby Sessions. If they like it, they put you on. But if you're going and you're playing a gig, and let's say you're playing Whelan's, you've got to hire out Whelan's, you've got to hire the sound engineer, you've got to do all this, 40, 50 people, which are your family, show up to the gig. It's, half of them are in for free. It's costing you 1,500 quid to do the gig, and it's no benefit to you. You're better off saving that 1,500 quid and making a really good video and putting it out on Instagram, because that's where people will see it. Yeah. And if you take, for example, the likes of the biggest track in 2019, which was Dance Monkey. Dance Monkey broke through TikTok and Instagram, and people started to like it and share it. And once it gets this thing, it gets it on its own, it gets the momentum. All the record companies start to pay attention. Because the one thing I've noticed lately is that record companies are no longer breaking bands. Excuse me while I light my cigarette and smoke out the window.
Go for it.
Record companies are no longer breaking bands. They're signing bands that have already got traction. So the days of putting you in the back of the van, like what Louis Walsh used to do with Boys On, and drive you all around the country and build up your fan base, that's gone. But now what they're looking for is they're looking for artists that have got traction on Instagram and on this, that already have a fan base.
Let's say a record label expects you to cover a certain amount of ground yourself. What do you think that might be? Would they be looking for, you put a single out, you put it on TuneCore, and they put it on all the platforms. Did your video get 5,000 views, for example? Or what do you think would impress a record label? I mean, obviously, if you get 1 million, they're going to sit up and listen. But what do you think?
But that's it. They're looking for them that gets the million. You know what I mean? Like in fairness to Leah Hart, when I signed Leah, she had 40,000 followers on TikTok after one or two releases, and I'm kind of going, this girl's connecting. This girl is connecting with the public. So maybe we can take it to a bigger level, and that's kind of how that worked. Okay. Now again, she's a great little songwriter, and she's got a great little voice. She looks terrific, so she's got it all going on.
And I would assume when whoever you talk to in Warner's goes, this is really good, but Brian's on board. It's got to be, obviously they're going to say, well, this guy knows what he's doing. He's managed Picture This. They're world famous at this stage. You've got a track record in music. That's got to be worth something.
Yeah, well, it is. It is more currency to the record label, because I do have access to the radio pluggers, or the people that are the radio playlist managers in the different record companies, and over the years I've built up great relationships. So my main advice to a new band starting off is don't do a gig until you're ready, until you at least have a couple of singles that people know, because there's nothing worse than going to a gig and standing there and not knowing the music. So what I would say is, the likes of Ruby Works on a Tuesday night, there's always managers knocking around at that. There's always people looking around to see what you can do. Put your music up on Instagram. Get 3 or 4 good songs on social media that people have had a look at. Number 1, from the word go, get yourself 2 things. One is a good solicitor, and the main guy here in Ireland is Willie Ryan. Yep. Right? He's a great guy. He does not charge new guys at the beginning. He doesn't. He gives all the advice. He sits down with you, does this. Now, when it comes to you getting deals or management deals or anything like that, now he's going to start charging. But he will give you loads of advice. And another guy will be a fella called Dominic Kelly. And his actually email, if I remember right, is dk@dkc.ie. Now I could be wrong, but you can check that out, Dominic Kelly. And he's a business manager, right? The guy will tell you himself, he knows nothing about putting music out there. But when it comes to the pennies and pences and the pounds, he's or should I say euro? Jeez, I'm really showing my age. Young kids nowadays, they can get into contracts and they can be so blindsided about what's going on. And the record company is promising them the stars, moon and sun, and they don't deliver. And then these kids have lost their music to this record label, or they've done whatever they can. So it's really important from the word go that they get advice. That's really, really important.
Okay, good stuff.
This corner that I'm sitting in now, every night from 11 o'clock to 2:30, every night except Saturdays, I sit here, I listen to music, I scroll through YouTube. People send me emails, and I'll have a listen. Now, I don't say I listen to older music. I will listen to 90%, and I'll get back in touch with 90% of people, and I will try and give them some advice. Yeah. Okay. So my email is brian@lbw.ie, and as I said, I can't promise that I will listen to everything, but I do listen to about 90% of it, and I do try and get back. And if people are on just asking for a voice, sometimes what I do is I would get 7 or 8 together. I would do a Zoom call, and we'd all ask each other questions. Now, I do not charge. It's free. I don't charge anybody any money for advice.
That's because you've made all the money there is to be made, Brian. There's no more room in your wallet.
I don't know about that. But no, we're there to help. And there's a lot of good people in this industry that are there to help. And they won't charge you for advice. I don't believe anybody should ever charge for advice. Yeah. Anyway, Andrew, listen, I'm going to leave you because I've got to go get this. But,
all right. Thank you very much, man.
I hope that works out for you.
Cheers. And continued success, and picture this and all your other endeavours.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks,
Brian. Thank you. Very appreciate that. That's an interesting point Brian said when I asked him about gigs. And he said, don't bother. Don't bother if you're just going to play to your girlfriend and your cousin. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to hear it. I'd completely agree. I think I've been saying it to my friends and my family for ages now, that it's kind of like, would you not go out and gig it now? You have the single out, would you go out and get? I was like, I will when I have 6 singles out and a decent following. Like, there's no point. Well, I don't think anyway. There's other people who tell me I'm wrong, but I'm glad to hear.
Well, I suppose you might, if you got a special guest slot, you might just have somebody in the audience that's in a position to help you. There could be an A&R man or a journalist or whatever it is. There is that, but I tend to agree with Brian. But you're heading in the right direction. You've many thousands of views on the debut single. So I suppose people, and you'll have, I don't know how many likes on the Facebook page and that. What are we up to there?
I couldn't tell you myself.
Okay, fair enough. Well, they're going in the right direction, I assume. So I suppose when you get to a stage with the later releases, when there's a bigger fan base and you're confident that they will go and see you, that'll be the time to gig.
Yeah, and I think there's the other side of the coin as well. Like, if I got a decent support slot, I'd go out and try and play with people who sound like me, and then maybe get some of their fan base. Of course,
nobody sounds like you, JJ.
Someone who's remotely in the same genre.
Do you like playing live?
I love it. Yeah, no, that'd be my favorite thing. I think, I've learned to to love the production side of it now that I got into it. But
Right.
playing live has always been the first love. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I suppose before we go, is there anything new you're listening to? Any new artists?
New artists, probably not. I'd say artists I listened to that might have defined the sound a bit would have been Tom Misch and the Style Council, some Hall Notes tracks.
Is that somebody that sounds a little bit like Tom? Tom-ish. Sorry.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Tom-ish. Yeah. JJ-ish. Sorry,
Yeah.
no, I'll stop now. Sorry, who else would you be listening to?
Some Daniel Caesar is a lovely R&B soul artist that definitely influenced my sound as well for a couple of the tracks. Actually, the next track is kind of influenced off him as well.
Really? Okay, you'll have to dig up the Clash record as well.
Yeah.
I know that they have more than 2 songs, JJ.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'd love to see you come back in with a punk single.
No, I tell you,
Could happen.
you might be waiting a while. If someone pays me loads of money and says be a punk artist, maybe
You'll
I'll think
do
of that.
it. Yes, I'll manage you if that happens. Assuming the money is there, of course.
Of course.
Okay, so that's it for Sessions from Oblivion. And thank you very much, JJ Bloom.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
Go to his Facebook page. It'll be linked for iTunes. Download the single. You can listen to it on Spotify, but we're asking people to support Irish music and download it and pay for it. Okay, so final song is called
Doorbell.
Doorbell, JJ Bloom.
I won't tell you that it's okay. I won't pretend to understand. And don't you dare say that you're sorry, 'cause I ain't got time for that. 'Cause now I see, though I'm hurting, I've got to be me. Oh, though I want us more than anything, I've got to be me. But if by the time my doorbell rings, you decide you're coming home to me, then you know that I'll forget the time you said you'd never be mine. Said you'd never be mine. Spend a lot of time wondering why we need to change our lives. Then I started to see it, all the sense you were speaking. I guess that you can say you're right, 'cause now I see, though I'm hurting, I got to be me. Though I want us more than anything, I've got to be me. But if by the time my doorbell rings, you decide you're coming home to me, then you know that I'll forget the time you said you'd never be mine. Said you'd never be mine. Oh. But if by the time my doorbell rings, decide you're coming home to me, then you know that I'll forget the time you said you'd never be mine. You said you'd never be mine.